Congratulations. We have made it, everybody. This is our third episode, I want to say,
Mhm.
on Proverbs, doing a Bible study through Proverbs where we seek wisdom because the world's wisest guy wrote a book and said, read it. And, I'm inclined to try to seek some wisdom, and I think it's over here. Before we do that, I want to acknowledge that today is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. And it's not just about cheeseburger, it's about recognizing those who died for our nation. We're not going to go too much into that because we're trying to study Proverbs stuff. So maybe during our Sunday show, we'll talk more about it, and we talked more about it last time. Ryan, are you there?
Yes,
Disappeared on me.
the careful observer.
Proverbs, are you reading? I believe we're in chapter 7 now.
Yes, yes, I'll be
Chapter
happy to
7.
read
Let's
chapter
pull
7.
up the Bible.
I'll be happy to read chapter 7. Are you ready?
I got it up for you.
Well, I'm reading it out of my Bible, Jeremiah.
Yes, but I have it for everybody else to see.
Okay. All right, I'll read it out of my Bible and they can follow along on the screen. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger with flattereth with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and behold, among the simple ones I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot, and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn, her feet abide not in her house. Now she is without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore, one moment, I had to take a sip of drink. I came forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. For the good man is not at home. He is gone a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at the day appointed. With her much fair speech she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forced him. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths, for she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. And that concludes chapter 7. Shall we discuss or go to the next chapter?
Yeah, I need to go and get this down. Hold on for a second. You tell them what you thought of it.
Well, let me turn the slide off while I'm not reading. Very clearly, it is warning, men, young men. Don't let yourself be tempted by a seductive woman. Basically, that's what I get out of it. Don't fall into the snares of a temptress, a seductress. Be on the lookout.
And there's that verse right at the end that says, many a strong man have fallen by her. Which
yes,
verse is that?
have they been? Yeah, verse 26. Many strong men have been slayed by her. And what I gather is they're not talking about an individual woman, but a type of woman that does this.
I mean, there's Samson and Delilah. That's like a painfully obvious one. But then there's also like King David. And then I don't remember if there was ever a problem with Solomon exactly. Like if any of his women actually caused him a major issue. But
I think so. I think he does allude to that. I think, yeah, we'd have to study deeper. But I think that he did. If you read Ecclesiastes, I believe it talks about in Ecclesiastes him having problems with women.
We'd have to look into that. But there are several times in the Bible where a guy looks at a woman that he's not supposed to look at, and he ends up having horrible issues, and he ends up getting destroyed and being reduced to the value of bread. It says, I think it's chapter 7. So.
Yeah, did we read that in here? Reduce the value of bread.
We did, yeah, just last episode.
It was the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to go back and look to see exactly where it is, but I do remember reading that. I'm not
going to try to find it as of right now.
Many preachers and Christian leaders have been taken down by the enemy using women. This is probably his most common tactic. Especially if he starts to make a name for himself and get pretty pop, then the women, more likely to throw themselves at him. So, thankfully, the wise men have taken steps to prevent that. I've talked before about Billy Graham's policy of never being alone with a woman who isn't his wife.
Yeah.
He had that policy throughout his ministry and never had a scandal.
And there are quite a few people like that. And you got to remember, like, how many pastors have been caught cheating or doing something else?
A lot.
Think, oh, this was some great pastor, and then they were being taken down by this
simple thing. Look at Ravi Zacharias. People put him on a pedestal. And people like him. People tend to do that. I have to watch myself. Don't put Jack Hibbs or Bryce Crawford on a pedestal. Just, they're the same level as you. They're being used by God, and you're being used by God.
Chapter 8.
You ready for chapter 8?
Yeah, chapter 8.
You want me to read it, or you gonna read it? I'll read it if you don't feel up to it.
It's up to you. I'm 50-50.
I'll read it.
Man, you're over eager to read these chapters.
Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way, in the places of the paths. She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate. Hold on just a second.
I want to stop there. Which verse was that? The fear of the Lord
Um,
is either
verse
right there.
13. That was verse 13.
Yeah, hold on. Right there. The fear of the Lord,
Hey, Quaker.
hate evil.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody ever heard the verse? Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that. I've heard exactly where it is. Isn't that in Proverbs?
I'm not exactly sure, but doesn't this right here just sound a little bit familiar?
Mm-hmm.
The fear of the Lord, and it defines what the fear of the Lord is. What's it mean to be afraid of the Lord?
I
It
look
means
at it as
hate evil.
reverence and respect.
Well, yeah, we put it that way, but it's not saying that. It says the fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clearly defining what the fear of the Lord is.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13.
Well, if you fear the Lord, you will hate those things.
Well,
Pride.
it doesn't say if you fear the Lord, you will also do these things. No, it says the fear of the Lord is to. Fear of the Lord equals
Mm-hmm. Hating
hating.
evil. And then it goes into a little bit, and it then elaborates a little bit because there's a colon there. Then it says pride and
Right.
arrogance and the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. You
So it
know,
says that he hates these things.
pride is probably the biggest thing that keeps people out of heaven. I'm already good enough. I'm good. I don't need Jesus. I'm good. That keeps people out of heaven more than anything, I think. And it's pride. It's that pride. Um, people think,
I want to highlight this
sure, go ahead.
because everybody tries to say what the fear of the Lord is, but the Bible says what the fear of the Lord is.
Yeah, well, it does also say that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, of wisdom.
Well, yeah, but the fear of the Lord is beginning wisdom. So, if the beginning of wisdom is to hate evil, then you have to ask, how much do you hate evil? And that's when you realize, oh, I might not be wise as I thought, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of people who live in evil and
Yes.
don't hate it.
Yes. I mean, I was in years past, I was living in evil. I was deceived. And I'm so thankful to God that He chastened me so that I could see the error of my ways, so that I could see that the way I was living was not godly. Um, but that was a process where God had to show me my sin and get me to hate my sin so that I would not return to it. This shirt here says "Yesterday is Dead." It's a song by Josiah Queen, and that's very true in my case. My yesterday is dead, and my today is infinitely better because I'm living a life to try and please God instead of myself. Now I'm still human, but I'm not perfect. But at least the desire of my heart is to please the Lord.
And
So
I just got to ask, for each to think of their own.
yeah.
Do you hate the evil? When you hear that abortion is happening, do you hate it? When people lie, that's evil. Do you hate it? When
Right.
people steal, do you hate it?
Yes.
In your own life, your personal sense. A lot of guys watch, pornography. Do you hate it?
Right.
If you don't hate it, then I mean, it says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. To hate evil is the beginning of wisdom.
Well, I used to love my sin when I was living in it. Now I hate it. I hate it now. And when I see it represented, when I see it celebrated, and when I see it affirmed, as they say, it 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 grieves my heart and it grieves my soul because it's a snare, it's a trap that people fall into. Okay, are we ready for the next chapter? Or are we gonna? You got something else you want to talk about, Jeremiah? You there, Jeremiah? Looks like he stepped away. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading. Oh,
I can't unmute my system for some reason when I screen share. I was trying to unmute it. It wasn't working. Yes, I had the Bible pulled up. We were going to go and do that again, but I couldn't unmute myself. I don't. Yeah, let's try
oh,
this
good.
again.
It's all good. Do you want me to read chapter 9 or do you want to read it?
If you'd like.
I'll go ahead and read it. I like reading the word out loud, knowing that other people are hearing the word, knowing that
Which chapter are we starting at?
9, we should be on 9.
Well, we just read 13.
No, we read 7 and 8, and now it's time to read 9.
We didn't read all of 8, though.
Oh, we didn't? You're
No,
right.
we just hit,
You
verse
stopped me. Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Can't miss
Now
the rest of it.
Now I'm going to read the chapter. Yeah, we spent so much time discussing that I forgot that we didn't finish the chapter. Okay.
Let's
Verse
start at
14.
verse 13.
Okay, 13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth. Forward, it's kind of hard to pronounce that. Do I hate? Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, when he has strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth, then I was by him as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whosoever findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. That's the end of chapter 8. So my first question would be, who is I? It keeps talking about I. And I believe that if you read verse 1, doth not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice? I believe that all this is referring to wisdom. Am I right? that the I in the chapter 8 is wisdom. Do you agree? Are you there?
Jeremiah Buckingham.
Hello?
I'm having the hardest time. I'm gonna mute my computer. I am having the hardest time. I can't unmute myself.
Then don't mute yourself. Just be quiet.
I can't unmute myself.
Oh.
Can the audience hear? Are you on speakerphone?
Shoot. You want me to just start reading chapter 9 until you can maybe get the problem solved?
Well, can the audience do you have it on speakerphone?
I can't bring it up. I've got YouTube on here. Okay. Do you want me to have it on speakerphone?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you're on speakerphone.
Okay.
If everybody can hear me, for some reason I got my mic stuck. I can't get it to turn off. So Ryan's gonna read another chapter. I'm gonna try to figure this out. And if we can't get this unstuck, this may be the end of the episode.
Well, I can at least read chapter 9. We're doing 3 per week, 3 per night. So I'll just go ahead and read.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and read.
Yeah, it sounds. I wanted to point out though that in all of this, it sounds like Jesus is talking, because he says, "I am life," and Jesus claims to be life, and then it says that he was here when the foundations of the earth were set.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely saying, that he has to be Jesus in this, as far as I'm aware, because Jesus is speaking here.
Well,
and it confuses me a little bit because I never when did Jesus enter the chat? When did Jesus enter? I don't know. But
well, I'll show it.
All of this is describing Jesus.
It starts out in the third person. It says she this and she this, and then in verse 4 is when it says I. Then it changes to first person in verse 4. Do you see it? So the rest of the chapter, it's in first person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's God talking. It is not impossible for God to speak through somebody. Anyway, I'm going to be trying to figure out what's going on. Just keep going.
Hold on. Are you looking at the chat?
Yeah, I see. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead.
Somebody did. I think maybe Quaker did.
Oh, Quaker. Yeah, Quaker. Are you keep an eye out for Quaker? There's the devil has his little minions after us. Okay, ready for chapter 9?
Okay, go for it.
Okay, wisdom hath buildeth her house. Now we're back to the third person. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beasts. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. She hath set forth her maidens. She crieth upon the highest places of the city. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instructions to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. There you go. That's 9, verse 10. And the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
Unmute.
For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be
Unmute.
increased. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. For he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. And that concludes chapter 9. Are you able to get on mute, Jeremiah? Are you able to take the text off the screen, or you want to discuss anything that I just read?
Outro.
Outro?
The chat. When did Jesus enter? I don't know. But well, so all it is describing.
Okay.
It starts out in the third person. It says she this and she this.
I guess we're gonna have to call it a night. We've been having some technical difficulties, but I hope that you all enjoyed and learned something, and hope you had a great Memorial Day. And let's remember the Robertson family in our prayers. That's about it. That's all, folks. And I'm exiting now.
Hey Siri, call Ryan.